Cynthia, please wait.
V'yarehu v'yeshuhu v'asi.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but I have to, so I can film this interview here. I'm just going to ask you all to make your way over here. Please be seated. Gentlemen, can you put these chairs out for the family, other people back there? Excuse me, please. Here, I have one chair right here. The funeral service is being conducted by Rabbi David Owen.
We have gathered together, sharing our deep sorrow to bid farewell our beloved Estelle Laughlin. We recall a deeply significant blessing of her life. We are grateful for the precious, inspiring memories which shall endure in us as long as we live. What though the radiance, which was once so bright, be now forever taken from my sight? For nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass, of glory in the flower. We will grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind, in the primal sympathy which having been must ever be, in the soothing thoughts that spring out of human suffering, in faith that looks through death, in the years that bring the philosophic mind. In despair, for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear what my life may be. I go down and lie, break, rests, in his beauty on the water. The great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, do not tax their lives with forethought of death. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and am free. We meet here today to celebrate the life of Estelle Laughlin, to express with love, with deep love, how much Estelle meant to us. We meet to support one another, to affirm life, to affirm that Estelle is so very important to us. We join together here today to express our love, to share our loss as we celebrate her life. The love of the human heart is the most real and most beautiful of all the realities we know. It is the richest gift of our humanness. It is the love that joins us together as lovers, as husband and wife, as parent and child, and as friends, and as neighbors. Whatever length of time may be, to have known something of this is to have experienced the supreme privilege of being human. The anguish of parting cannot destroy this most real of all realities. The love has been, the affection has existed, the ties have been woven. Life has been shared, the joys and the sorrows. This has been as real and strong as anything in life. The love that once was born can never die, for it has become part of us, of our life, woven into the very texture of our being. Each of us would wish to leave some part of ourselves, yes, every one of us, some memory, some influence for good. So here and now, we bear witness to the one we knew in life, and now in death, bequeaths a subtle part, precious and beloved, to be with us in truth and in beauty, in dignity and courage and love, for the remainder of our days. In these brochures, you'll find the 23rd Psalm, the second page. Read responsibly. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall abide in the house of the Lord. Mizmor David, Adonai ro'i lo et zar b'nodesha yarbitzeni al neimen v'chlochin haleni. Nafshi yishovei, zancheni b'ma'aglei tzedek l'ma'an shemo. Gam ki elif b'geit solmo vet lo iroro, ki ato imodi. Shiftecho mishantecho emo yenachamuni. Laroch lefon ha'shulchan neged soroi, Shanto v'Hashem en roshi, kosi rivoyo. Tov v'chesed, yirdefuni kol yemei chayai, shafti beit Adonai ha'orech yamim. Eichet chayil mi yimsar v'rachok mipnenim nechra, batach ba'alei ba'ala, v'sholal lo yetsar. V'malatu tov v'lo ra, kol yemei chayai. A good woman who can find the worth is far above precious jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, nothing shall he lack. She renders him good and not wrong all the days of her life. She opens her hand to the needy and extends her hand to the poor. She is robed in strength and in dignity and cheerfully faces whatever may come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, whose tongue is guided by kindness. She tends to the affairs of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done superbly, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. The woman who lives in the spirit of reverence is much to be praised. Place before her the fruit of her hands. Ever people gather, her own deeds speak her praise. One Yiddish term of endearment keeps coming to me about our beloved Estelle. And that word is Lechtigkeit. Lechtigkeit in Yiddish means source of light. Estelle learned how to transcend ego and become a source of pure love and non-judgmental acceptance of others. Her capacity for forgiveness and for understanding was at the core of her universalism. Open-hearted empathy towards all who suffer was amazing. She was truly a spiritual giant. Estelle indeed achieved spiritual enlightenment. Her book describing her experiences in the Holocaust as a young teenager is thus aptly named Transcending Darkness. She really did transcend darkness. Thus is an extraordinarily powerful model for us whose day-to-day problems and anxieties come nowhere close to the torment that she endured. Next time something upsets you, or somebody annoys you, gets on your nerves, remember the model of Estelle, who endured unimaginable evil and grew to transcend it and become such a tzedakis. Again, Yiddish. It's time for a truly righteous woman. I'm going to try to do that. Not going to be easy for me, I assure you. I urge you, though, to do the same. I can think of no greater tribute, no deeper tribute to Estelle than for each of us to attempt to grow toward the enlightenment that she personified. Her book concludes with her arrival together with her mother and sister to America after the Holocaust, during which her father had been murdered, and her early experiences here in this country. After that, as a new immigrant, she found herself working in the garment district in New York, where many new immigrants, Holocaust survivors in the late 40s and early 50s found themselves. There she met another survivor, Henry Glazer. They were married for 25 years, worked very hard to assimilate into America, and worked very hard in general after what they had gone through, and had 3 sons together. She later married Charles Laughlin, and she and Chuck spent 16 years together until he died. They were close and enjoyed their time traveling and accomplishing different things together. Estelle and Henry had 3 sons. To bring new life into the world after so much loss was extremely meaningful to them. And they strove to shelter the boys from what they had experienced, as was very common among the survivors. Stephen, Andy, and Bobby were raised by a mother who had a mystical understanding of what it meant to be a parent. Very different from most American parents. She idealized her own parents. Her father, Mishlak Waxlak, fought in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising and made sure at the same time that his daughter's education, both his daughter's education in foreign languages and other subjects, continued in the ghetto in the early 40s before the uprising. He had been part of the secular Jewish intelligentsia in Poland's capital before the war. Her mother, Manya, hovered over Estelle and her sister and saved them while in concentration camp many a day. Estelle spoke often perhaps you remember, of Janusz Korczak, the head of the Jewish orphanage, whom she was proud to have met. She spoke of how he was a loving father figure to all the orphans who called him father, and of how he stayed with them until they were murdered in the gas chambers, trying to distract them and comfort them, though he could have saved himself. These were her models of parenthood. Estelle loved Stephen, Andy, and Bobby unconditionally. Her priority was to instill in them the values of right and wrong, with a deep sense of caring for all humanity. She taught them to do their share to accomplish Tikkun Olam, our concept of repairing the world, setting for them the bar of aspiring to be among the Lamidvovnikim, the 36 most righteous people because of whom the world is sustained, according to a teaching in our mystical tradition. No more, no less. When her sons married, Chris, Sina, and Jenny, Estelle welcomed them and loved them as 3 daughters. Estelle gave unconditional love to her grandchildren, Nina, Lauren, Eric, Matthew, Alex, Twain, and Emma Rose. They all speak of having experienced her loving acceptance and support, building on their strengths, and how she strove to inspire them to live up to the ideals that her parents had instilled in her. Estelle welcomed their partners into the family in a loving way, and was particularly overjoyed to spend time with her great-grandchildren, Chase, Bryn, Luke, Maya, and the youngest, Lillian, whom she met for the first time and got to hold this past weekend. Estelle had a special bond with her older sister, Fredka. After what they had experienced together, they had a very deep trust between them. Estelle was like another mother to Fredka's daughters, Fern and Stephanie, after she died. They have been very close to Estelle. Estelle wrote 2 books about the Holocaust, belonged to a writers group, and became a teacher in Maryland. She also taught children across the entire United States about the Holocaust as part of her active work with the United States Holocaust Museum, which sent her as well to speak with high government officials, including in the White House. Listen to the words Estelle spoke in a speech that she gave some years ago. And I quote, "Miraculously, my mother, sister, and I survived Majdanek and 2 other concentration camps. Our survival was mostly due to random luck and the fact that we managed not to be separated. We were absolutely determined to die together if one was selected. Miraculously, we survived together. If one was selected, and I define survival as surviving whole, with values, love, and compassion. Without this human core, survival is hardly meaningful," said Estelle. After moving to Illinois to be closer to family, Estelle continued her work with the Illinois Holocaust Museum in Skokie. She also became active in the Ishwaran meditation group centered in Deerfield, where she inspired others as she sought to foster universalistic spiritual enlightenment. She then became part of the New Reformed Congregation Kadima in Deerfield, where the ideology also resonated with her. In both places, and actually wherever Estelle went, people sought to be with Estelle because of her grace. Her Hebrew name was Esther bat Simcha B'Michla. Queen Esther was the heroine of the story of an early effort to annihilate the Jews. As you know, at Purim, we celebrate her courage. Today, we celebrate our own heroine of the spirit, Estelle, whose memory will continue as a powerful inspiration towards self-actualization and enlightenment. Her father's Hebrew name, Simcha, means rejoicing. Estelle would not have wanted us to be sad today, but rather to progress in life with rejoicing and celebration, undertake acts of goodness, selflessness, and compassion in our own lives, as she has inspired us to do. When evening twilight fades away, the stars, invisible by day, shine forth against the darkness of the night. So too at death, the one we love, in the darkness of our sorrow, the light of her light shines forth, clear and bright, warm, radiant, and steadfast, lighting our way, lifting our spirits and our courage. A memory, an influence, and a presence will be treasured to the end of time.
Earth from Jerusalem.
down, face the shovel down, don't pass it. Rabbi? Thank you, sir.
There are pails of earth as well. You could use the pail of earth or the shovel, either one.
Excuse me, could I ask you to not stand in the line of the camera? Thank you so much.
Once you finish shoveling earth, you can go back under the canopies.
Again, please feel free to go up. It's a sign of respect for everyone who's working the bridge. And there is a pail with sand in it each block because either way, it's the same sign of respect.
Please walk around, yeah, please walk around to the other side. There are pails of earth. You can use the pail if you prefer. It's all the same.
Excuse me, sir.
Can you use that shovel instead? Not the spade.
Thank you.
Can use the spade. Another shovel here if someone wants to step forward.
Yeah, you can always. It's right on our website. You can perpetuate it.
Someone goes to their side, they can come back. That's good.
Yeah. Can I ask you to step aside? We have a camera here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I.
Would anyone like
Excuse
to
me,
pick
could
up
I
the
ask,
shovel?
there's a camera here, if you could just kind of leave a gap. Thank you.
They can't pick up sign now.
You can. You can. Mm-hmm. Usually, when you're talking with the speaker, I attach it to the speaker so I know you can.
But they're all talking on it.
Just lay it down and hold. Not until this is all shoveled.
want them to put some more earth on, I'd ask them to either just step aside, but go back up and put some more earth in on the board.
Lloyd, I'm gonna stay here till it's done, so.
No, I understand. They're just gonna back up a little bit and put some more of the earth. You want them to dump all of the earth?
Please.
Okay,
They won't dump all at the same time. They'll
Okay.
put somewhere down.
no problem. No, you need to wait, please. Oh, you can do the sand, I'm sorry.
You can continue shoveling. Okay.
Excuse me, please.
Mud or something. Yeah. You have to walk around. Would anyone else like to pick up a shovel?
They can finish after the one you tell my brother.
You know what? ladies and gentlemen, can I have everybody reassemble to where you were? We're going to conclude the service. After we conclude the service, we're going to form two lines called the Shura for the mourners to pass through. And then the mourners want to come back and completely fill in the rest of the grave. But right now, we're going to conclude the service with Kaddish. And then as soon as Kaddish is completed, then I'll ask you to form two lines going out to the street, and that's called the Shura.
Please stand. El Molei Rachamim, Shokei Bameromim, Amitzei Menechonechono, Tachat Kanatei Ashikino, B'ma'alot Kedoshim U'Tehorim, Kizor Kiamazirim, Et Nishmat Esther Bat Simcha U'Michlo, Shel Chol Yomho, Began Eden Tehemenu Chatoho, Ono Borachamim, Asireho Beseter Kenofecho Yolamhim, Utzor Mitzror Achayim Et Nishmoto, Adonai Unachaloto, V'tonuach V'shalom HaMishkavo, V'nomar Amen. We shall remember with love the life of Esther, the daughter of Simcha and Michla, also known as Estelle Laughlin. We shall remember her meritorious and righteous actions in the land of the living. May her memory, may our memories of her courage, her strength, and her kindness, and love for human beings and life encourage us to do likewise and to foster peace among ourselves. Back of the brochure, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shnei rabo. Olemo liberoch yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Chayei chon v'yamei chon u'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael. V'agolo v'zman koriv v'meru omein. Yehei shemei rabo miborach v'olam l'omei omai. Yitborach v'yishtabach v'yitfoar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei d'kodesho v'richu. Ve'elo min kol birchoto v'shiroto v'shpechoto v'nechemoto v'amiron v'olmo v'yuru omein. Ve'ei shalomo rabo min shemayo v'chayim oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yuru omein. Oseh shalom v'yumo v'yaseh shalom oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yuru omein. May our bereavement for our loved one, Estelle Laughlin, who is no longer with us, lead to an expansion of our compassion, all of life, and of our passion for holiness in our relationships. We pursue peace among the living. May we find inner peace, shalom, in the acceptance of our loss, cherishing memories of companionship, which shall endure in us. At the memory of Estelle, whom we loved in life and still love in death, continue to bless our thoughts and our actions. Estelle still influences us through our memories of acts of goodness that she performed. With a special grace, for 95 years, reached out to touch our hearts and give us hope. We regard her life as a special link in the chain of vital existence. May we honor her always with the gift of remembrance, and may the beauty of her life abide among us as a loving inspiration. And let us say, Amen.
So we're now going to form what's called a shura. We could have two lines facing each other going out towards the street. Family members, you can remain until the two lines are formed, but everybody other than the immediate family members, if you could please go and form these two lines. If you haven't signed the register book, you can do that. You can do it after the shura. If you want to participate in filling in the grave afterwards, you can do that as well. Also, I thought everyone should know that in addition to everybody that was here, we had about 45 devices online. That could have been close to 100 people that were also joining us.
Bobby.
May you be comforted among all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
Thank the people that are still online. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for being part of my mom's life. It means a lot to all of us.
And again, thank you for being part of my mom's life.